Alright guys, in the previous couple of videos we saw about creating a virtual machine for Ubuntu Linux, installing it and shutting it down. Now in this video I'm going to show you how to create a virtual machine for Windows and then go ahead and set up the Windows virtual machine that we downloaded from the official Microsoft website, right? So before going ahead and performing any steps into the VirtualBox interface itself, let's go ahead and analyze what are the contents of the zip file that we had downloaded. Right, so I'll open the folder, I'll go to my storage and downloads. Right, so over here you would have noticed we had this MS Edge Windows 10 VirtualBox machine downloaded. It was a zip file. So all you have to do is go ahead, right click and extract it. Now this is the extracted file that we get. So if we go ahead and open this folder, you will see that this particular file is not just any other virtual machine file. It's not an ISO file that we used in Ubuntu, but this is something called as the Open Virtualization Format Archive, right? So what exactly is this virtual machine? So the team at Microsoft, they created this virtual machine using Oracle VM VirtualBox, and then they exported it for us. All we have to do is import the virtual machine. Now, this saves a lot of time of creating virtual machines, installing the OS, configuring the OS, and things like that, right? So this is one of the ways you can get a virtual machine in an OVA format and import it into your machine, right? Let's go ahead and do that. Now, all you have to do is go back to your Oracle VM VirtualBox interface, click on the File menu, and click on Import Appliance, right? Once you do that, you will see the Import Virtual Appliance box, right? You'll simply click on this button, go to the Downloads folder where you have the virtual machine, that is MS Edge Win 10, and select that particular OVA format file and click on Open. Click on Next, and then you see the virtual machine configuration has been listed. So it says the name is MS Edge Win 10, the guest OS type is Windows 10 64 bits, the CPU is one CPU core, and the memory is I don't know what. Let's correct it. So all you have to do is double click onto it and simply type 2048 MB for giving it 2 GB of memory. The rest other things looks perfectly fine. All you have to do is go ahead and click on finish. Alright, give it some time. It will import the virtual machine. You can see the progress bar running over here. As of now, it is at 4% in my system. Alright, so once the virtual machine has been imported, you will see that it has been listed over here in your VirtualBox Manager screen. Alright, so once the virtual machine is imported into your system, you will see it has been listed over here, right? Now, before we start the virtual machine, let's go ahead and check if it has the configuration as we need it. Many times the configuration would not match in a certain areas based on what and how the person who created this virtual machine had the configuration on his or her system, right? It's very simple. Select the virtual machine, click on settings, and if at all there is a problem, VirtualBox is going to indicate it over here. You will see it says invalid settings detected. If you put your pointer over there, it says the virtual machine is currently assigned less than 27 MB of video memory. And there is another issue. It says the virtual machine is configured to use graphics controller in a way that is not recommended. The recommended way is VBox SVGA. Let's go ahead and rectify this. So all you have to do is come here in the settings to the third option, which is display, and you will see the required virtual machine is in the red zone over here and not in the green zone. All you have to do is move your pointer and let's say 32 megabytes. That's perfectly fine because it's in the green zone. And then this graphics controller error that we had, we'll simply click on this drop down and select the third option, VBox SVGA. Once that is done, you will see the error or the issue has been resolved. In the meanwhile, as we are at the screen, let's go ahead and check the other configuration as well so that we do not miss on anything. So we'll go to the General tab. We do not have to actually do anything over here because anything and everything looks perfectly fine. We'll go to the Systems tab. Okay, and over here you will immediately see the RAM allocated to this virtual machine even after configuring it was not correct. So it's nothing major. Come back over here and type 2048, that's 2 gigabytes of RAM, and that would be all. Then we'll go to the processor count looks perfectly fine, and we'll go ahead and click on OK, right? And let's go ahead and start this virtual machine. It will take a little bit of time to initialize and power up the virtual machine so that it meets the configuration of our hardware, and then it will start the machine, it will go to the boot screen, the boot process, and give you the login screen. Now, while this machine is booting, let me tell you what the password is for this machine. As you remember, we downloaded from the Microsoft official website. So if you go back to that particular web page and scroll down, you will see the password has been mentioned over here, right? So for a better visibility, I'll zoom in and there it is. The password is capital P ASSW 0RD and an exclamation mark, right? So please take it out of this password. We will need it to log into the virtual machine. Now, going back to the virtual machine, we can click over here to get rid of the notifications, and we'll just wait for a couple of seconds for the machine to come up and give us the login screen. All right, the machine has been booted and we are at the lock screen page of Windows 10 virtual machine. All we have to do is just click within the virtual machine and it will ask you for the password. Remember, the password is there on the download page of this virtual machine on the Microsoft website. So the password was capital case PASSW0RD exclamation, and press enter. It will log in and take you to the desktop. All right, once you see the screen, that means we have successfully logged into the virtual machine. There is a lot of information mentioned over here, like the host name, the Internet Explorer version, OS version, and so on and so forth. As this is a VM downloaded from the Microsoft website, it will have a lot of information populated by Microsoft themselves, right? Now, once you're into this virtual machine, we can operate it like a regular computer, regular PC, and there you go. Now, at this stage, we have a functional Windows 10 virtual machine running inside Windows 10 itself, right? At least in my case. So that's what we have achieved in this particular video. We have set up a Windows 10 virtual machine without installing it, but using an OVA format file. We have imported the virtual machine. In the next video, I'll show you how to export these virtual machines. We'll work with the Ubuntu virtual machine, and further, we'll see the networking into virtual machines and several other states of virtual machine. That would be all for this video. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next one.